Hello friends, it is time I finally share with you my completed book nook. It has been such a labor of love putting this space together, and a lot of thought went into it, a lot of organizing, a lot of curating of all of my little trinkets around the house, and I am just so excited with how it's turned out. Starting this tour off with arguably the most important part of my reading corner, which is my chair. I went with a Papasan chair from Walmart. It's from Better Homes and Garden, and it's a little boucle chair, so it feels a little elevated, but it is just so comfortable. Like, reading like this is so much better than like reading like this, and that's kind of why I went with this chair. I was going back and forth between some really nice chairs that had more structure, more support, but this just seemed like the best option for reading, and I do not regret it. I've been reading in this for a little over a month now, and I've noticed I have less back problems. So here is how big it is. It's very comfy. I'm not a small person, and I can curl up in it. This is really nice. I will say the one thing about this chair is it's too comfortable. Sometimes I fall asleep in it. On to my bookshelves right behind me. They go floor to ceiling here, and we have a little desk in between. I work from home Thursdays and Fridays, so I wanted a space not only for books, but to solve the problem of me not having an office at home. Kind of just taking you off of the tripod for a bit so we can get up close and personal. And the bookshelf split into a few different sections. I'm going to start with general fiction. So up here we have just books that don't fit really anywhere else. Frederick Backman, just love him. Matt Haig, just love him. I'm very excited for his next book coming out next month. So everything is organized by author. Madeline Miller, did not realize that was the same Madeline Miller as The Song of Achilles, by the way, until this year. So silly. I haven't read The Song of Achilles yet, but I did read Circe, and I did love that. And then also we have Jodi Picoult here. Pretty much anything that Jodi Picoult writes, I will read. I was Jodi Picoult girl growing up in high school. It's one of the first authors I actually got into, so just love her. This is really the end of fiction. Love this book. Was my favorite read of 2023, and I haven't reread it yet, Tomorrow Times 3, but I really want to, but it was just such a heartbreaking hard read, so I don't know, maybe I will one of these days. Maybe I will buddy read it with one of you, and that will help me pick it up again. Coming down to the next section, we actually have my poetry section. I want to show you this. This is such an interesting story, just the author and everything. So Tella Aitson is a fisherwoman first, poet second, and she's Native Alaskan. She writes poetry about life on water, contemplating life, all of that good stuff, and it's so interesting. And I was lucky enough to find this while in Sitka. So I haven't read too much of it, but I just had to show it to you because it's so cool, and I love that I got it from Alaska. In the poetry section, we've also got lots of Rupi Kaur. Love her. Was the person to really get me into poetry. We have some classics, Robert Frost. We have Whitney Hansen. She's a newer writer, but love her work. She's on Instagram. She has one green eye and one brown eye. It's really cool. She's gorgeous. We've also got Halsey's book of short stories, poems. I talked about this on my last video. Halsey has such a heartbreaking story, and I don't know if you have heard her recent release, but gosh, it just breaks my heart. But I just love that she shared this with us, and she's so eloquent in the way that she writes. So would highly suggest this guy. And then this I picked up, I don't even know when, but it's just a beautiful book. I love the art in here. How lovely. Next to poetry, we have my bookish supplies box. We'll take you in there. We've got annotating supplies because I am extra. Got pens, my book journal, which in this bad boy, I kind of just put like what I'm planning to read for the month and try to stick to it. It's kind of hard because I really am a mood reader. I just read Honey Witch and I enjoyed it, but I have moved on to Throne of the Fallen and it is so good. I cannot wait to really get into that book because I'm only like 10% in. So good. We've got my Kindle in here. Just got lots of random bookish things that I don't just want everywhere. I want my stuff to just be organized, if you can't tell. So I liked the idea of having this box for all of that stuff that I don't just want piled up in the bookshelf, and it's just nice little tucked away right here. So underneath poetry, we have the classics. Just a few classics. I like to be really mindful on what I buy and what I consume, so, and I feel like this little light academia head with little pearls coming, string of pearls coming out just felt appropriate for classics. Plus the little mushroom on top of the Hobbit set just feels, it feels perfect. And then this is probably the thing I am most excited about with getting my bookcases. This is a book stamp, and I always say that I don't have like a book collection, I have like a library, because I order a lot of books from thrift bookstores, and I do a lot of book swaps and like just a lot of secondhand books, so everything's kind of a little tattered a little bit. But this is a little book stamp, and I haven't stamped these yet. So here's my Into the Wild book. See, as you can see, it's a little tattered and old. This stamp is just an embossing stamp. So there it is, quick and simple. This book belongs to the McBean Library. It's AM. I am married, but my husband's initials are AM as well, so it's both of us. I love this book stamp. I got it from Amazon, and not to promote them or anything, you can go to Etsy. You can go wherever you want. Just search custom book stamp and you can customize it with your initials and whatever you want. So under classics, we have the wellness section where we have lots of books about crystals, Eastern medicine, Ayurvedas, breath work, hormone, essential oils. There's all kinds of stuff here. We have my singing bowl, which I can possibly play a song for you currently. Let's see if I remember. I haven't done this in a while. Haven't played her in a while, so I'm a little rusty, but I'm going to get back on this for sure. It's really nice for me to like just play that right before I meditate or do yoga or journal or work, even just to like focus my mind. So that is that. Sage stick and some Palo Santo, because why not? I mean, it makes sense for this area now, doesn't it? And then of course we have another little mushroom back here that just feels right. Oh, and dust your bookshelves, people. How cute is this little duster? It does not fit the vibe of my house at all, but I just thought it was really cute, so I got it because I need to dust the bookshelves every day. And then at the bottom here, I just kind of call this like references. I don't know. It's a hodgepodge. There's not much of anything. We have our family Bibles here and devotional, a little Zen garden, and some journals. It's kind of a hodgepodge of stuff, but it's stuff that I use regularly, so I need to like reach it from here, so it just makes sense to put it right there. So now we're gonna hop over to the other side where we have more fantasy, graphic novels, and some YA. First, a little quick stop to my desk area, which, like I said, I work here Thursdays and Fridays. I absolutely love my chair. This is also from Walmart. Better Homes and Gardens. All of their stuff is just like really hitting this year, by the way. So this is a painting done by a local artist here in Northwest Arkansas. I picked it up, actually, I won it in an auction. My bookstore that I love, and I have a lot of friends who work there, they did a fundraiser for helping out one of their friends' families in Gaza, and this artist brought like 4 of his like limited edition or painted specifically for this event pieces, and I won this one, and I was so excited because I've never won anything in an auction before. So I was like, yes, definitely have to incorporate that. And then I also got this lamp here, you guessed it, also from Walmart, in stores this time. And I just needed a little something to brighten it up because I have 3 windows behind me. So when I'm taking meetings or what have you, when I'm working later at night, it's nice to have this little lamp here. I love the exposed bulb, I love the brass, and it also has plugs, which is very practical, useful here. We are now above the desk area, and I kind of forgot I have mystery up here and romance down here. I thought that was kind of funny. That was just a little haha for myself. This year I got into Emily Henry, and I have some thoughts. I said that last time. She's such a good writer. I really adore her writing, so I just went ahead and bought all of her books whenever I was last at the store, and I'm finishing up Funny Story right now. So once I finish Funny Story, that will be the last of my newish Emily Henry books, and I will give a recap of my thoughts. But I did hear that Abby Jimenez is very similar to Emily Henry's writing style, so I did also pick up 2 of hers. And I think these are 2 of her most popular, so I'm very excited to read those because I'm really not a romance girly, but I can be at times. On the romance shelf, we also have this beautiful card that my husband gave me for one of our anniversaries. It's adorbs, and I thought it just fit. It's one of those paper pop-up cards. Thought it just fit well on the romance shelf. We also have this little elephant that my sister doesn't remember giving me, but she brought back from Thailand, which that's kind of cool. We have finally made it to the fantasy and series shelves. I'm not the type of person who buys the full series before reading it, so I've read these 2. I have this one. Once I read it, I will buy the next one. Same thing here. Once I'm ready to jump back into that world, I will get the 3rd one. Now, contradicting myself a bit, I did buy the Shatter Me series because I read this in like 5 hours, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna buy it. And then we have Divine Rivals over here, Bookshop Bone Dust Legend Lattes series, which I really loved that when I first read it, but now I've read all of these better books, and I'm just like, I don't know if I really like it anymore. And the second shelf is just continued of the series. Peek the Sign. For the dogs, really. I am so excited. I'm gonna reread Harry Potter. I'm excited every year to reread it, but I will be rereading this next month in prep for autumn. And I still haven't read these, but I will soon because I was just really impressed with this movie. So I have to read them all. I never read them in high school. I had a very strict household, so I didn't read any of these until much later in life. Okay, so on the topic of strict households, this next section probably would have given my mom a heart attack when I was in high school. Different time. I don't think now it will give my mom a heart attack, and if it does, sorry mom. But I'm a witchy girl. I love witches. I love spooky season. I love cozy fantasy. So this next section is my witchy section. Here it is up close and personal. We have the Honey Witch, Witch of Wild Things, What the River Knows, Mexican Gothic, some really good ones here. The Spell Shop, which I started the other day. The Spell Shop, that's gonna be a really good one. Like, I started it and then I was like, wait, I'm just gonna wait until September, because if I read it now, I will also probably reread it in September or October. So I'm just gonna finish up some other reads that I have that are actually on my reading journal list, and save that one for later. We have Heartless Hunter, which I've heard is also amazing. Isn't really witchy. I mean, there's a witch and a witch hunter, so there's a witch in there, but it's more like dark romance. So Wayward, oh my gosh, I'm just so excited. I have only read a few of these, so I got most of these on my latest half price books haul, and they are most on my fall TBR, so very excited. Then our next section is my husband's. That is literally his shelf. He reads graphic novels. He really likes Demon Slayer, and we're still in the process of finishing up his game room. The floor is taking forever, but it's okay because it's going to be really amazing when we are done with it. So once that's done, we'll probably maybe move some of these into there, but I kind of like him here. I like his little Demon Slayer figure, so it's kind of cool. It breaks up the bookshelf. So the next two sections are my YA sections, which love, love, love. That is what got me back into reading, not gonna lie. Heartstopper, love it. YA now for me, I'm like, it's a hit or miss. But I will say, and here it is, I have a teacher friend. She's actually an English teacher, and she works in my fave bookstore. She has told me that this book is the best book she's read in a while. She's very strict on her critiquing. She is, yeah. So, and I got this as a gift, so that's really exciting, but I am going to read probably all three at once. The third one comes out at the end of this year, or maybe next month. So I'm waiting to read this and the second one till the third one comes out. This little vase here that's breaking up, I have some faux floral, which eventually I think I'll get some different ones. But my friend gave me this vase, which is just beautiful, by the way. I'm using it as a little bookend because I think it's nice to just kind of have little things on your bookshelf that aren't books. I mean, to each their own, and whatever you want to do with your bookshelf, but I really like breaking up my bookshelf with some things that remind me of some people, some gifts, some things that are from other countries, so it's just a nice way to break it up. And then at the very bottom here, we have the memoir section. If you know me personally, you know I love a good memoir. So I have all of those guys here. The next one that I'm reading is Matthew Perry's memoir. It's taken me quite a while to read this, and I'm actually quite literally forced to read it because my book club is reading it. So it'll be an interesting one. It'll be quite sad because I bought it right before he passed, and I haven't wanted to pick it up yet because I'm just sad to read it. But everyone is reading it in my group book club, and they are all really liking it. So yeah, that's that one. Probably my favorite memoir is Viola Davis. This was so well done, you guys. I mean, this woman is, first of all, incredible. She speaks so eloquently, and if you knew where she came from, you got to read the book to know where she comes from. But imagine every struggle a Black woman could go through who is Viola Davis's age, so grew up in 60s, 70s. She's been through it all. She's dealt with it all. She has overcome it all. She's gotten through it all, and she's just an incredible, incredible woman. No matter all the controversy, no matter what, like, she's been through it, and she persevered. And she also taught me to be more forgiving and have more grace for other people. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. I think everyone should read that book, no matter your race, no matter your background. It just has a lot of good life lessons in it. So I'm ending my bookshelf tour here because that was supposed to take 30 minutes and ended up taking like an hour. I've got to go cook dinner. But I really hope you enjoyed this tour. It was a bit scrappy, not gonna lie. I worked today and my brain is kind of muddled and I'm a bit all over the place, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you very, very soon on a new video.